Each ghost is given a name and has a distinct personality or behavior simulated by their individual AI. Blinky, aka Akebe, the chaser ghost, directly chases Pac-Man and increases his speed when there are 20 dots left in the maze. Pinky, aka Machibuse, the ambusher ghost, targets the position 32 pixels away from Pac-Man's mouth, except in the case where Pac-Man is facing upwards as a result of a bug, in which case Pinky targets the space 32 pixels to the left plus 32 pixels upwards. Inky, aka Kimagure, the fickle ghost, bases his position away from Blinky and Pac-Man. Finally, Clyde, aka Otoboke, the stupid ghost, directly follows Pac-Man like Blinky, but moves to the lower left part of the maze when he enters a 64 pixel radius of Pac-Man. These characterizations are great as getting accustomed to their habits makes you think of them as people over time, and having the ghosts individually named makes it much easier to cuss them out for ruining your new high score run. One small thing to quibble about the Ghost AI is that it can be exploited. You can follow preset paths to guarantee near perfect play. When followed correctly, the ghost will react the same way every time. It is the use of this knowledge that the Pac-Man game can become more like playing a puzzle. There are also areas that the ghost won't travel into if Pac-Man just stays still within it. Once you play around enough and master the timing of these exploits, it is solved in a sense, which does take away some of the replay value. However, mastering the timing and performing it consistently is quite difficult, even for professional players. One mistake means you will have to improvise and rely upon reflex, so, casually speaking, Pac-Man is still very engaging. It's only when you actively try to trivialize Pac-Man that it feels a bit flat. All four of the ghosts cannot turn around 180 degrees except when they enter and exit their scatter mode. In this scatter mode, all four ghosts will target one of their preferred corners. This mechanic was added to relieve tension for players and, honestly, in situations where you're about to be swarmed, scatter mode almost feels like heart medication. There are 244 dots total in the maze for Pac-Man to eat in order to progress to the next round. The small dots are worth 10 points each, and the big dots, commonly called power pellets, are worth 50 points. 4 power pellets are tucked away near each of the 4 corners of the maze, which grant the ability to turn the ghost blue and send them into their frightened mode, where they move pseudo-randomly at a slow pace. One of my favorite aspects when eating ghosts is that it freezes time, kind of like the Matrix, by allowing you to glance at the other ghosts and pick up on any turns they're about to make. In the right situation where you get all 4 of them in a ghost train and get 1,600 points, will probably feel like a master exorcist in that moment. The eaten ghosts end up as disembodied eyes that retreat back to the ghost house to regenerate. After a short period of time, the ghosts will flash white before returning back to their normal states. While music isn't present during round gameplay, the music that is present is catchy and simple to hum to. The bright colors of the characters are attractive, and the small details of the ghost eyes changing based upon their direction is both a cute touch and helpful, as it allows you to telegraph their moves, and since ghost eating freezes the screen, you can be able to tell where they are going before they even move. The coffee breaks definitely add to the atmosphere and tone of the game by playing out like a comedy sketch. The only downside is that there are only 3 of them out of the 14 standard rounds, but at least they were spaced out fairly well by having them occur after the 2nd, 5th, and 9th rounds. Even today, this game is full of depth and is quite technical. The game elements mentioned earlier, like the power pellets alone, make Pac-Man an intricate game. Then there are other mechanics that organically layer the gameplay to make Pac-Man even more compelling. Pac-Man's speed is slowed down while eating dots, which gives the ghosts an upper hand, despite starting with slower speed averages than Pac-Man's base speed. Pac-Man is also faster turning around corners and going through the warp tunnel than the ghosts. Although unintentional, there is a rare glitch in which Pac-Man can pass through ghosts without getting harmed. This occurs when Pac-Man and a ghost connect at the right speed and position where they swap tiles in a way that doesn't set off the collision detection in their center points. All of these mechanics together give players tons of strategies to play the game adequately, and none of them, besides a glitch, are hard to comprehend and to utilize efficiently. You can save the power pellets for last to make it easier to fight the ghosts past the mid-game, or you can eat the power pellets and ignore the ghosts entirely to focus on the remaining dots. Most games struggle at balancing simplicity and complexity in their overall designs. Games like Tekken require complex combos and precision inputs to be good, and games like Jump Force are accessible but aren't good at incentivizing or challenging players to be tactical. Pac-Man comes incredibly close to this balance, and considering this is an arcade game developed in the late 70s by a then small gaming company with a designer who had no background or any initial interest in game development, this game really is an unlikely but remarkable occurrence and a trendsetter for the games that followed.